let's move to another Saturday game in the Big Ten Showdown. You got Wisconsin with only one loss in the conference, and then you got a couple of teams with 2 losses, Maryland and Indiana, as Wisconsin will be playing at Iowa on Saturday. We talk a lot about revenge in college basketball. You have to start with revenge in this one because these teams just met January 20th.
It wasn't pretty.
No, Iowa was ranked number 25 in the country at the time. They got shellacked 82-50 by this Badger team. Wisconsin just shot 49%. Iowa wasn't there offensively, and nothing went right for them because Wisconsin turned the ball over 1 time in 54 possessions, tying the fewest turnovers in school history. So it was a game where everything went their way. And this is 3 straight now. Wisconsin has beaten Iowa last year 75-71, 79-74 on this court. So, Sean, you got a Wisconsin team that they're not only a Big Ten powerhouse, but they're one of the top teams in the nation.
Yeah, this is an early game that goes on Saturday. This is an ESPN game. It'll go at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, a Big Ten. Wisconsin class of this conference. Not much question about that. They're 8-2 straight up. Very good against the bookie. They're 11-8-1 against the number. They defeated Iowa twice, as you mentioned, last year, and they beat them badly on January the 20th. As a home favorite at 10, they win by 32. Just ran away with it. In my opinion, Wisconsin likely a medium favorite here. I'll have to check with Zach, see what he seems to think here, but I'm going to say Wisconsin probably about 4.5 on the road. They're 6-1 straight up in conference play, and they're coming off a squeaker overtime win at Michigan, 69-64 as a road favorite of 10.5. So they had to extend themselves to win that. Historically, right, what's Wisconsin known for? They throw a rope at the other guy's basket, and they choke it off. They're always known for defense. They allow just 55 points a game, which I think is like 7th among the big teams nationally. Worth noting that senior point guard, however, Trevon Jackson, I think I'm pronouncing his name, is out. But they got a strong bench here for Whiskey. Now, Iowa, 13-7 straight up, a very poor 8-9 against the bookie. They play much better at home. We mentioned these teams that seem to do that. They're 10-2 straight up, Mark, at the house. They're just 4-3 in conference play. This is a big game for them, just to get what is that thing called the RPI, just to get that up. Iowa, but their best player, Aaron White. Last game he played, which I think was against Purdue, he played just 7 minutes, and they slammed his shoulder, and they took him out. So I don't know how we're talking about he leads them in just about everything. 6.6 rebounds a game, 1.5 steals a game, shoots 52.4 field goal percentage, and a team high 15 points a game. And then after that, you got to get to the next guy who gets maybe 11 points a game. And there's a good chance that he's not going to play. So we'll see when that number comes out. Sore shoulders, that's tough when you're banging on the inside. I can't make a case for Iowa in this game. Maybe Zach can do that, but I think the line comes around 4.5, maybe even 5. It depends on whether Aaron White is going to be able to play or not, whether they're going to list him as probable, and even if he does, how long will he be there? Like I said, he only played 7 minutes in this last game, and they got to have him to have any chance, even though they're at home. So the way things are now, if the line is 5, I would lay it and figure Wisconsin probably win this by 9 or 10.
Well, you got a very good Iowa team at 13-7, although they have lost 2 in a row, and they've been money burners too. 7-17 spread run. They're also 4-10 against the spread in Big Ten play. Last year's Iowa team was tops in the Big Ten in scoring. Not so this year. They've taken a little bit step back on offense, but they have a very big front court, 39th in the country in rebounds, and they come off that game that Sean mentioned, a loss to Purdue, 67-63, 1-point underdog, had a bad offensive game. So, Zach, they really didn't get much help other than Gasell and Olasani for that game, who had 16 rebounds. So how do you see this one, a revenge spot or another Badger blowout?
Big Ten basketball is always tough, especially with a game this close, but from what I've seen this season with Iowa, they're very unpredictable. They had a win against North Carolina. I'm talking about the games that I've seen this year. They had a win against North Carolina. Early season game against Syracuse, they were down big. Came back in the second half. I think lost by 3 or 4 points. The home game against Iowa State, they were blown out the gym from the first half on. I think they were down by 30, 40 points, and then lost by 20-something points. Michigan State, they were up big in the first half, I think 15 points or so, and they blew that game and lost. So everything I've seen from them, they've lost, and those were all those ATS losses right there, piled up, 5 losses right there. Game against Wisconsin was one of those perfect games from Wisconsin. As Sean said, they don't score the ball a lot. They like to, when I was watching that game,
choke you off.
The commentator was making a good point. They have a thing where each guy that catches the ball they hold on to the ball for 2 seconds. So they'll hold on to the ball for 2 seconds, wait, throw it to the next guy. They're going to milk that clock all the way down to 0. But if they're not hitting shots, that can be a problem. And that game last week, they were hitting everything out the gym. I think Iowa will raise their defensive intensity. They have to after that type of blowout loss. And who knows if they get obviously they're going to turn things up on the defensive end. And from turnovers, they only had the shot clock violation turnover. They weren't able to do anything. So you got to expect some type of reversal in that. We'll see where the lines maker set this. This could be a very curious one with everybody in town for Super Bowl weekend if they set this up. And I know Wisconsin fans travel in bunches, so I'm sure there'll be a ton of people here in Vegas ready to bet. It should be, like Sean said, 4.5, 5 points, but I would not play this game. I think there'll be better value on the board than to chase a game that was just played in a blowout fashion just a week ago.
We can always bet the Super Bowl, right? A lot of value there.
I forgot about that. Is that going this weekend?
Oh, yeah. By the way, is that this weekend?
Well, I'm going to look at a high-scoring Big Ten game here. You got two very big front courts. That's going to mean high percentage shots. Wisconsin, 49% shooting as a team. That's top 20 in the country. They're 9-2 over the total in Big Ten play. I do wonder about their defense because in that shocker against Rutgers, Rutgers the last 20 minutes shot 54%, just torched the Badgers, and that was the worst Big Ten shooting team Rutgers was at the time. And Iowa has a lot of weapons inside and out. They're on a 4-2 run over the total. And last year's game on this court, 79-74 shootout. Might not be surprised to see an up-tempo game here. All right, let's get to some best bets. Also, if you want to go to the website, see that basketball in the lower left corner. That's a link to jimfeist.com. You get plays daily from Zach, Jeff, and Jim Feist and others. Plus, if you want to send us a note, any questions for the Proline panel, go to Twitter at jimfeist.com, as well as Facebook at Proline TV. All right, best bets. Sean, you got a Super Bowl best bet prop?
Well, I think Seattle wins the game. I'll stick my neck out and see that. I don't see they can win a high-scoring game, but I by 6 to 7, I can see that. Russell Wilson's got to play great. But yeah, I'm gonna, as far as the props go, I'm gonna stick with this wide receiver that I put out from New England, who I think is just an underrated player. He just plays well, and that's Brandon LaFell to score a touchdown in both the first half, which is plus $4. It's great, 4-1 if you could hit that, and for the game, at plus 190. I just think that he will get in the end zone. I think they'll look for him to do that. So the prop with Brandon LaFell to score a touchdown would be my best play of the game.
All right, and Zach, your NFL season, 44 wins, 23 losses, 1 tie. College basketball still going on. If you want to get aboard with Zach, he's 78, 43, and 4. What do you have coming up for this weekend?
Yeah, the college basketball, we talked about it earlier. Hopefully I'll have 3 to 4 plays, maybe 5 on Saturday, and then Sunday pair that up with 2 to 3 plays as well. The props, don't have a best bet, but I'll go over the 4 that I mentioned earlier again. Hopefully we can go 3-1 for a little bit of profit there. But
well, 4-0. Come on, Zach, 4-0. Wait a minute,
what's
what's this 3-1 thing? 4-1. Come on, 4-0.
But
you can do it.
Tom Brady touchdown pass in the second quarter. That's minus 110. I think all of these were minus 110 as far as the juice. Gronk over 79.5 yards, minus 110. Russell Wilson under 5.5 yards on his first rushing attempt. And then Chris Bosh scoring more points than Tom Brady completions against the Boston Celtics.
All right, and I'll go best bet with Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski, field goals over or under 1.5. I'll take the over at minus 135. Seattle's great on defense. They're great in the red zone. It's very tough to get touchdowns on them. Just ask Aaron Rodgers, a great Green Bay passing attack. Well, they get 1 early touchdown, and they had to settle for 4 field goals despite so many chances to get more points on the board. And I can see Steven Gostkowski of the Patriots.
Oh, wait, having trouble pronouncing the name, are you?
Gronk. Boy, these Polish
I'm not
guys
the
are
only
killing
one?
us.
I thought I was the only dummy here.
Yeah, I'll go over 1.5 field goals for the Super Bowl with him. Jim Feist on a 9-1 run with NBA Games of the Year, 13-2 with college basketball selections. Right now online at jimfeist.com, he has a pair of 3-pack of props. You can get all 3 for $25. Plus, he has an inner circle single prop on the game. You can get that and more at jimfeist.com. All right, enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. We'll see you back next week with another edition, and it's going to be the college basketball edition of Proline. Good luck with the Super Bowl, and we'll see you then.
Pump the ball up.